Rogue have announced the events for this year's Invitational.
Oh, events. I do love events. Because now we can overanalyze everything and start getting excited.
We can get hyped up, get super excited. Rogue have announced the events for this year's Rogue Invitational, and it's 6 events, but with extra events thrown in there. This is going to be a brutal one for sure for these athletes to prep for. Very quickly, let's just remind ourselves of who is in this competition. Starting off on the men's side, we have the current world's strongest man, Tom Stoltman. We've got his big brother, Europe's strongest man, Luke Stoltman. 5th place from this year's World's Strongest Man, Tristan Hoth from Canada. Also from Canada, the former World's Strongest Man and current strongest man on earth, Mitchell Hooper. World's Strongest Man from 2020, Alexei Novikov. The man who placed 3rd at this year's World's Strongest Man, Evan Singleton. 4th place from World's Strongest Man from New Zealand, Matt Ragg. The ever consistent American, Thomas Evans. 2-time podium finisher at the Arnold's, Bobby Thompson. And the highly anticipated debut of Hafthor Bjornsson at the Rogue Invitational.
So there is, of course, a women's competition for the first time ever this year also. So going through this lineup, first up we have Angelika Jardine, winner of this year's Arnold Strongwoman Classic. The next woman has won absolutely everything. It's Ukraine's Olga Lyshuk. She has just broken her own deadlift world record, and she was the winner of this year's Arnold's UK, Lucy Underdown. Former winner of the Amateur Arnold's and the most brilliantly aggressive woman out there, Hannah Lindsay. We have the current log record holder in Inez Carrasquillo. 2nd place at this year's North America's Strongest Woman, Sam Bellevue. The current world's strongest woman, Rebecca Roberts. 3-time World's Strongest Woman, Donna Moore. Fresh off the back of her win at the Shaw Classic Women's Open, Melissa Peacock. And last but certainly not least, we have former World's Strongest Woman, Andrea Thompson. Great lineups, I'll say. 2
great lineups, 10 athletes in each lineup. That's the way they do it at the Rogue Invitational.
I wish it was more, because there are other names I would love to see.
Well, a couple that stand out right now for me, Trey Mitchell after his recent performances. Kilishkovsky, someone that was 2nd at the Arnold's this year. Now, I understand why those 2 weren't invited, because the athletes' invites go out early. Both were coming back from injuries. Both are back, though. And Trey is back with a bang after his recent performance. So, shame we don't see Trey in this lineup. Other athletes as well that are missing.
Lucas Hatton.
Lucas Hatton, he's had a great year.
Maybe Austin Andrade. Sorry, I've got a long list.
You like big competitions with lots of athletes competing. However, you're only allowed 10 men in this, okay?
Sorry.
And you're allowed 10 women as well. So you're a very lucky girl. But yes, there's always going to be athletes missing from competitions. However, 10 fantastic athletes in each lineup. If they all come in good shape, we are in for a fantastic battle. Predictions we will leave for another day. This video is all about the event. So thank you, Rogue, for announcing them. And they are starting things off with a raw deadlift for max. The deadlift ladder, I believe this is going to be 10 bars laid out, a bit like they do in the CrossFit. And the athletes can choose which bars they want to do. I think they get 3 attempts.
Yeah, something like that. So this is raw by strongman standards. So no deadlift suits, no figure of 8 straps. They are allowed figure of 6 straps, and it is a conventional bar. It's not the elephant bar.
Yes. So we're not too sure on kind of time limits between lifts. No. We're gonna, once we know more rules and we're allowed to bring them to you, we will. However, today we're just going to briefly go over what the events are. Event number 2. Now this one looks fun. It's called the grip and press. Now this is the farmer's walk. I don't know what weights yet. Into a log press. Now I'm going to guess the log is similar to what they've used in the past, which is around 160 kilos.
Yeah.
When we first saw the yoke into the log, I questioned it. I was like, this is a bit of a weird one. Turned out to be an event I absolutely loved watching. So this time I am going to sit back and just enjoy and hope it's just as good as that is.
You're going to take off your judgy pants.
No more Mr. Judgy Pants. I'm going to sit back, just be a fan, and love watching it. And, I loved Farmer's Walk, and I think the log is a great event. What I like about these combination events is the way they structure them will make athletes think. On the yoke, for instance, you might have different footwear on the log, and it's going to be the same on Farmer's Walk. Your hand's going to be sore by the time you get to the log in terms of just holding the handles. There's a lot of factors that can come into play. What kit do you use? How do you get through everything as quick as possible? Do you go a bit slower on the farmers to save some energy? We saw with the log how athletes' legs were a bit tired by the time
Some
they
of them
came.
had complete jelly legs because they were under the yoke for longer.
And athletes that are great log lifters, but they've kind of been drained from that first event. So the combination training is going to be important when it comes to this event. Very, very interesting. Looking forward to watching it.
So event number 3, this will be the end of day 1, is going to be the Inva Challenge. Now, we've seen the Inva Stones before at the Rogue Invitational, the first year in 21 and the second year in 22. They offered us some great moments because they were the last event. Martine's of his Dragon's Roar.
Big biceps, roaring.
Massive biceps. And then Alexei when he won the following year. But they've got it as the 3rd event this time, and they're not allowed to use tacky. They do get the tacky towels. Now, I have touched a tacky towel and I have questions. How does that help? It's not very sticky.
It's certainly not like using tacky, that's for sure.
No.
So the start of day 2 is going to be brutal. It is the power drive. It's a push into a carry, into a pull. 3 elements to this event. If you go and watch the athletes training, you'll kind of get a better idea of what they're doing. But yeah, this one is going to be absolutely brutal.
I love this competition so much because it's 6 events. But really, it's 10 events, isn't it? It's so many events.
Yes, there's a lot of kind of combination events going on. And athletes are going to have to be mega strong, with the start being a massive deadlift for max. However, they're going to need to be they are going to need to be well conditioned because this competition is going to be brutal.
So the penultimate event is a yoke escalator.
How cool does that sound?
It does sound good.
I'm just picturing, like, you think what the Rogue equipment is like. We've seen some epic bits of kit in the past, and I'm just visualizing some monstrously big steps or something that's just nasty. But visually impressive.
Yeah, I like how you say nasty.
Nasty.
Your face, yeah. So it's yoke into power stairs. Now we talk about odd combinations. Probably not the oddest in this case. Like, we used to see a lot of medleys early in World's Strongest Man, didn't we?
Yes.
So yoke into power stairs, probably not going to cause them too many issues.
No, but you know, we don't know weights
hard.
yet. It's going to be hard. Legs will be tired. You know, we've seen 1,000-pound yokes at the Rogue Invitational. I'd expect very similar in terms of weight. How much does the yoke take out of the athlete? Some athletes will blitz through the yoke. Others that struggle a bit more, they're going to feel it by the time they get to those stairs. So again, interesting combination. What shoes do you wear? All these elements are things to think about. And we are finishing the competition off this year with the Circus Medley. It's going to be 4 different implements pressed overhead. Fastest time wins. Interesting to finish with an overhead. We often start competitions with an overhead. We don't see many finish.
I like it. I like this because I don't like things always being the same.
I agree.
I like a bit of change. This is, to me, is a really exciting competition, unlike any that we've seen before, even at Rogue. So
I totally agree with you. I think it's going to be a great contest. I'm looking forward to seeing what shape the athletes come in. Really excited to see the women compete for the first time, because every time we've seen the women, they put on a show, and the women's side is so much harder to predict in terms of who wins.
But different women win every competition.
Every show we're seeing, you know, the scoreboard can change massively. Whereas I think on the men's side of things, Mitch, Tom on a good day, and Thor are sort of dominating this year. It's harder to see too many people getting, you know, especially right now, Thor and Mitch are looking above everyone else.
It's hard to imagine anyone being so good that they could beat, assuming everyone brings their A game, Tom, Thor and Mitch.
Yes,
you know,
it'd be very difficult to beat the three of them in the same contest. But that's what they're there for. It's what the challenge is all about. And there's interesting events that could throw surprises into the mix. So super excited for this. Make sure you guys follow along for the Rogue Invitation. It's going to be an awesome event. Let us know what you're looking forward to. Which events of these are you enjoying the sound of? For me, really looking forward to the grip and press. Looking forward to the yoke escalator as well.
Yeah,
and
I'm looking forward to the power drive, push, carry, pull.
Yeah, I'd normally look forward to a deadlift ladder, however, or a deadlift for max. I've seen so many deadlifts this year.
I know.
I'm really glad we've got like a real mix in terms of the events for the rest of this. So it's going to be an amazing show. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you guys next time.